The prince who carried courage, Prince Kael, wasn't the loudest warrior in the kingdom. He didn't shout battle cries or clank his armor for show. His bravery lived in quieter places, in the steady set of his jaw when facing a challenge, in the gentle way he helped a fallen sparrow, and in the unwavering light in his eyes when others felt afraid. Kael trained hard every day, not just with sword and shield, but with his mind and heart. His grandfather, a wise old knight, taught him true strength. Kael isn't just in your arm, it's in your spirit. A warrior protects, not just conquers. One scorching summer, a terrible drought gripped the land. Rivers shrank to muddy trickles, crops withered in the fields. Worst of all, the great spring, the source of all fresh water for the village below the castle, had dried up completely. Whispers turned to fearful murmurs. A fearsome rock troll named Boulder had taken up residence in the spring-esque cavern, blocking the flow with his immense stony body and roaring at anyone who came near. The king's bravest knights charged down the mountain path, shields gleaming, while a boulder bellowed, shaking the earth. He hurled boulders the size of wagons. The knights' swords clanged harmlessly off his rocky hide. They retreated, bruised and defeated, the villagers' hope fading like the last drops of water. Kael watched from the castle wall, his heart heavy. He saw the worry in his parents' eyes, the thirst on the villagers' faces, especially the children. He knew he had to try, not with brute force. Boulder was too strong for that, but with the courage his grandfather spoke of. He didn't take his heavy ceremonial armor. He wore his simple practice tunic and carried only his water skin nearly empty, a coil of strong rope, and a small pouch of dried berries. His loyal wolfhound Ash padded silently beside him. The path to the spring was dusty and hot. As they neared the cavern entrance, a deep, rumbling growl echoed out. "Go away, tiny thing. This is mine now." Kael stopped. He didn't raise his voice. He took a slow breath, letting his fear settle, and spoke clearly, calmly. "Great Boulder, I am Prince Kael. I haven't come to fight you." A massive, craggy head, eyes like glowing embers, peered out. "HMPH, not fight." "Then why come? To be squashed?" "No," Kael said, stepping closer, Ash at his heels. "I came to understand. Why do you block the spring? The people below are suffering. Children are thirsty." Boulder shifted, a shower of pebbles clattering down. "Suffering, huh? They took my home. They built their noisy village too close, scared away my mountain goats, the only friends I had. Now they know what it feels like to lose something precious." His voice held a deep, rumbling sadness beneath the anger. Kael's heart softened. This wasn't just a monster. It was a lonely creature, hurt and lashing out. "Protect, not conquer," his grandfather's words echoed. "Blocking the spring hurts everyone, Boulder," Kael said gently, "including you. You're alone in the dark. What if we found you a new home? Higher up, where the mountain goats still roam. A place just for you, quiet and safe." Boulder blinked his ember eyes. A new home, but the water, ... The water belongs to the land, to all who live here, Kael explained patiently. But you belong somewhere you're not afraid. My father, the king, will grant you the highest peak as your own. No one will disturb you. And ... double quotes, Kael opened his pouch, offering the dried berries. We can be friends. Ash and I could visit, bring you stories. Silence hung in the hot air. Boulder looked from the small prince, standing so bravely before him, to the loyal dog, to the humble offering. The anger in his rocky shoulders seemed to melt, replaced by a weary hope. Friends, he rumbled, softer now, and ... mountain goats. Yes, Kael promised, his voice steady and kind. And goats, with a groan that shook the ground less fiercely, Boulder slowly, carefully, began to move his massive body away from the spring's mouth. Clear, cool water, freed at last, gushed out with a joyful gurgle, flowing down the mountain path towards the waiting village. Kael didn't need a sword to win that day. His courage wasn't in his strength, but in his willingness to listen, to understand, and to offer kindness instead of a blade. He walked back up the mountain beside the great troll, already planning the path to his new home, Ash trotting happily ahead. The kingdom celebrated the return of the water, but they celebrated Prince Kael even more. They saw that the bravest warrior wasn't always the loudest or strongest, but the one whose courage carried compassion, and who knew that sometimes the greatest victory is turning an enemy into a friend. And high on his new peak, Boulder kept his promise, guarding his solitude, but always wagging his stony tail when he saw a small figure and a wolfhound climbing up with stories and berries.